we are officially starting our fall TBR and I'm so excited because I just love the autumn season. But I feel like I start my fall preparation earlier than most, but the second that my birthday's over, we are in fall to me. So I'm really excited to just get excited for fall. I also feel like if you are not prepping for a season, I feel like you can sometimes miss the season. Does that make sense? If you are only putting up your tree on Christmas Day or 2 weeks before Christmas, you don't get to enjoy the season. And so I feel like because I start getting my fall TBR together, doing all the fall things, it makes it really easy for me to actually enjoy the season when it comes. Last year we actually set up our Christmas tree really early. It was even before Thanksgiving, and usually we'll set it up on right after Thanksgiving. We set it up literally November 1st, and or maybe it was the 31st. Yeah, I think it was November 1st. And it actually made the season so much better. So I'm kind of going into the fall season with that mindset. But before we go and do any fall things, I do want to give you guys a little haul that I have here. All of these are packages that I got while I was out of town. I've opened a few of them and some I haven't. I also have more, but I'm gonna open those later. So the first package that I have is this one, and I think I know what's in this one. I ordered so many books while I was out of town and was just waiting for them to come in. Oh yes, oh my gosh. Okay, so this book, We Rip the World Apart, is by Charlene Carr, and this is a Black author, and I'm really excited to read this book. I've never read anything from them, and it says a sweeping multi-generational story about motherhood, race, and secrets in the lives of 3 women. Weaving the women's stories across multiple timelines, We Rip the World Apart reveals the ways that simple choices made in the heat of the moment with the best of intentions can have deep and lasting repercussions, especially when people remain silent. That sounds so good, and it just came out. Sorry, by the way, if you guys can hear construction. Our neighbors are getting work done in their house, and it's just been very loud. This is one of the books that I did open, but I wanted to open it with you guys, and it is definitely giving the fall vibes. It's called Hear My Heart by Tay Monet, and this book, I remember when it came out, they're literally drilling out there. It's actually wild. But I remember when this book came out, it only came out on Kindle and not on the physical book. And I really wanted to read it, but I didn't think that I would actually read it on my Kindle because I don't really read books just on my Kindle alone. Usually I tandem read. So if I'm reading something in physical form, I might have it on my Kindle if I just need a light at night whenever Brady goes to sleep, if I'm reading outside while it's dark, things like that. But this right here is about a girl who is growing up in her family and she's deaf. She's kind of been ignored her whole life, and then he comes into the picture and her whole world is turned upside down. This is giving fall. If you look at the cover, that is so beautiful. It's truly giving fall. I feel like this could be a book that I definitely add to my fall TBR. I also picked up this book, which I feel like is, again, giving fall as well. And well, let me open this one first because this one came in and this is a thriller. And I actually realized I don't have too many thrillers. I am getting a couple books together for some girls at the gym, and they only really read thrillers. They don't really read a ton of romances. And I was looking on my shelf and I was I don't really have that many left for them to read. So I want to get more thrillers. That's probably the only type of book that I feel I'm really missing for this season. But I ended up picking up Love You to Death by Christina Dotson. And this book right here actually is by a Black author, and I picked this up from Call and Response Books, which is a Black-owned bookstore that is in Chicago. Literally, she delivers faster than Amazon. I'm not kidding you. You know how Amazon's just been kind of taking forever to deliver things? And don't get me wrong, I love supporting small authors on Amazon, so I'm always shopping there because there's a lot of authors that only have their books go live on Amazon. It's usually the really small authors that only have 10 reviews or 5 reviews or 15 reviews or whatever on their books. But I don't know, to me, I'm I would rather get a book by a Black author from a Black-owned bookstore and have it be delivered super fast if that's an option, and it is with their bookstore. So I also went in when I was in Chicago to that bookstore, and I met the owner. She's literally my age. She opened the bookstore because she was I want to have a space like this for us, and it's in Hyde Park. So Yeah, anyway, this book right here, it says sharp, unpredictable, and madcap from start to finish. Love You to Death is the most fun and deadly road trip you'll ever take. And I'm pretty sure it's about like two girls and like one of them is like absolutely crashing out. On the back, Lane Fargo said Christina Dodson's debut combines the surreal dark comedy of Zola with the ride or die on the run classic Thelma and Louise to create something entirely fresh and exhilarating. And that's the author who wrote The Favorites, which I really enjoyed. And it was very like dramatic. And so I feel like this book might like kind of give the drama just because of the review from Lane Fargo. I always feel like authors have reviews by other authors that have similar books to theirs or like a similar vibe if they have them like on the back of their books. So yeah, I ended up getting that. And then I got Sweet Heat. Now you're probably wondering, how did I get this book? Because it doesn't come out till September, but I have my ways. And no, this is not an ARC. I got this book because if you order on Blackwell's, which is a website that has like a bunch of UK books, if you order from Blackwell's and have it delivered here, you can get the book early because it was released in the UK. And I found out it was released in the UK like months and months ago, so I ordered it. But I didn't realize, like I literally just went to London and Amsterdam. I could have just bought it while I was like in Europe, but it was released early in Europe, and so I could have just picked it up there, but obviously I wasn't even thinking when I ordered it. So you can order this now from Blackwell's if you want to and get it here early. This is the second book to Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola, which I'm pretty sure came out in like 2020 or 2021. That book was so good, very deep, had a beautiful romance, but also was a story that wasn't just solely focused on the romance. So if you like a good contemporary fiction with like a heavy plot of romance, you will like that book. This says, not every relationship makes it out of university, but Kiki and Malachi were supposed to be forever. Everything was perfect until it all went up in flames. I cannot wait to read this. I feel like it's so rare to get a continuation of a story when it's like years like later. You know what I mean? Like this is like what, 4 or 5 years after Honey and Spice came out. But I will say I appreciate that. I feel like authors are just like banging books out, and I don't hate that they're doing that. But sometimes I'm like, you could have taken your time a little bit more because this book needs to be fleshed out a bit. And I feel like this author definitely did that. So I'm really excited to read this one, and I feel like that one's gonna give fall vibes. This box right here I got from Bestie Kalila, and she wrote, "Happy birthday, Shaughnessy, you deserve all the good things, love you mucho." And I don't know what it is, but we're gonna open it together. We actually met, and this is from a small business. Oh my gosh, so cute. It's from Beyond Brave Studio. We actually met, I think 3 years ago. And we literally met because we just like talk about books online, and like I sent her a message. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be going to the Smoky Mountains. I would love to like meet in person. And she came and we just like hit it off, and literally we voice note every single day, just about like the most random things. Guys, you're a gift worth celebrating every day. Made with love for Shaughnessy. We're beyond grateful for your support, Beyond Brave team. Guys, this is so cute. This is a blind date with a book box, and there's so many goodies in here. There are some socks. These are like super fuzzy socks. There's a straw. Oh my gosh, this is packaged so nicely. There's some shortbread, and I'm guessing the straw is maybe for a coffee mug in here, just because it has like these metal straws. There's also a coaster, and this is a cute coaster. I love coasters like that because I feel like it just soaks up all of the water. Like sometimes there's coasters that are like stone or something, and like the water just like sits on it, whereas this is like that, I don't know, that spongy type of fabric. And then the blind date with the book. I'm actually gonna be doing a blind date with a book video coming up soon, so I might actually add this book into that video. I already have 4 books that I'm gonna be doing, and I might just add this one in there as well. So really excited. I'm definitely gonna have to give her a call and tell her like thank you and voice note her and all the things. But let's head out to go and do some reading. I have to finish this summer, like end of summer book before I get into the fall books, just because I don't want to start my fall books before this one is done. I'm about halfway through and it's like really short, so I think I'll finish it really fast. But it's called If Only for the Summer by Alexandria Warren. There are some other books that I had that I wanted to read, but I might actually just sprinkle these into other videos, even though they're not like specifically fall focused. But I feel like I'm gonna read all fall books in the next like few videos, but I do want to get to these. Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn, Maybe for the Summer by Aubrey Penn, and Summer of Love by Sophie Thomas. Those are all books I'll probably sprinkle in here and there. I feel like this book is an ode to all the girls who have been in terrible relationships and know they're not supposed to be in them, because the main character in this book, she has a boyfriend who is literally the worst, and the whole book I'm just like, let go of him, let go of him. But how many times have we had someone in our life that we knew we need to let go of, and we just like didn't have the courage to do it? So I feel like that is a very like realistic example of like what it can be like in real life to like not want to let go of a relationship. But I'm going to put a pause on this one because I wanted to show you guys the two books that I brought out with me. So I have You Again, which is very obviously a fall book, and then I also have Out of Body, which I feel like is definitely going to give the fall vibes. This is more of like a thriller, and then this is obviously like a fall contemporary romance. I also was thinking about reading like one of my newer reads, but I just wasn't sure if I wanted to like dive into that yet. But I am really excited to get into the fall reads. I feel like Out Here is giving more fall than it ever has. Like literally the leaves have already started falling in some areas. It's just like really nice. It's not like chilly or anything yet, but over the water, like you guys know I live over the water, I definitely will say that it's gotten chillier and like more crisp at night. So I'll definitely have to read Out by the Water at some point in this video. I also feel like there have never been more bugs than like out here right now. Like usually throughout the year, I don't really have a hard time with like reading and bugs, but maybe because I'm in like a very like foresty type area, maybe that's why. I don't know, but the bugs are going wild. It is making me realize though that like summer is like leaving. It's literally leaving. Like the leaves are falling here. Like it is slowly making its way out, and we should appreciate the weather while we can before we're in like winter, because if summer went by this fast, then you know that winter's gonna go by like really fast too. So just a reminder to like get outside, enjoy the fresh air while you can before it's like, you know, the time where you need to like bundle up into a coat. But I am really excited for like bonfire season and stuff. I definitely want to do a lot of like fun fall things. I actually shared my autumn bucket list on my podcast recently because it just like, I don't know, after my birthday, literally I'm in the fall mood. And I've been sharing like lots of little like videos on Instagram and TikTok with like book TBRs and like recs and stuff. But I'm so excited for fall. I'm so excited. I have my fall TBR behind me in one of these stacks, but I need to organize that shelf before I show you guys that. So before I organize that, I'm gonna take two books that I got in these packages, open them, and then I'm gonna probably put them on the shelf. I actually already opened one of the books, and it is August Lane. I'm really excited to read this book. I don't remember if I showed you guys this book in the haul yesterday, but I wanted to take this out of the packaging because I wanted to do like a little video with like some fall books that are on my TBR. So I'm gonna add this to that stack whenever I show you guys in a second. But this book looks really good. It has so many people on the back who've also blurbed it. Nikki Payne, Christina Forrest, Christina Lauren. Christina Lauren said, August Lane is a taunt, voicey, emotional, and propulsive. In a word, spectacular. Regina Black is hands down one of romance's must-read authors. Christina Forrest said, August Lane is a true tour de force, and Regina Black is a singular talent. We're so lucky to have her work. Tara Shelton Harris, who wrote One Summer in Savannah, said, Black's emotionally resonant and swoon-worthy prose will keep you captivated and eager for more. Nikki Payne, who wrote Sex, Lies, and Sensibility, said, August and Luke set the pages on fire with sultry chemistry as thick as any southern summer night. August Lane cements Regina Black as a new vanguard of Black romance authors. Taj McCoy said, who wrote The Good Ones Are Taken, August and Luke are magnetic, raw, beautifully flawed, and palpable enough to jump off the page in perfect harmony. You'll demand an encore. I cannot wait to read this. This says, a black country music star who lied about writing his only hit risks his comeback to reunite with the woman he stole it from, a first love the lyrics won't let him forget. This is one of my most highly anticipated reads. I read The Art of Scandal and I really loved it. I feel like some people loved it, some people didn't, but I knew going into that book it was gonna have more of like a contemporary fiction vibe because it's literally the category that the book is placed in. And this book also is placed in the same category. I think when you go look for this, you can't find this in the romance section. It'll be like in the contemporary fiction section. So really excited for that. And then I also have another book that I want to open, and this one right here is a book that is from, I don't know where this is from. Let's see. Oh, this is from J.S. Jasper. So excited about this book. And it's a new release. She actually reached out. I think she reached out. I might have actually bought it. I don't actually remember. There's candy in here. And the book has some cover art. This is beautiful. Look at that. This is Sapphic Romance. I think that this is so cute. Wow. This is beautiful. Look at that. And then the book is right here. I feel like I bought this book. I can't remember. It says, hi, it's me, J.S. Jasper, love you, bye. Every story is a love story. Here's mine to you. Chauncey, I love your page. Thank you for highlighting Black authors. All my love, J.S. Jasper. I have not read anything from J.S. Jasper. I'm so excited to read one of their books. This little bookmark is so cute too. And this book right here, it says Summer Breakdown. See, these are the books that I like want to read right now because summer's almost over and I feel like I'm not going to want to read books that give like a summer vibe after summer, you know? So like maybe right now I can like sprinkle a few of these in. But this says, this summer is Frankie. She's an overprepared Black lesbian and her rugby team is a few months away from doing the unthinkable, being promoted to the premiership. Somehow she's still happy, healthy, and at least half alive. To get here, she's spent her entire life with the structure. All she needs to do is stick to it. Take her pills, coach the Titans, and sleep with a different woman each week. Follow the play, and it all works out. Jasmine is using this summer as a fresh start. She spent her life hiding who she is, and she's not doing it anymore. She packs up her children and runs to the prettiest place she can find. Tollshire is cute, so starting her life over at almost 30 isn't the worst thing she's ever had to do. But making friends as an adult may be. That is until Frankie leaves, or it says, then she meets Frankie at a bar and Jasmine thinks she's finally figured it out. That is until Frankie leaves without a word and Jasmine attempts to forget all about her and her ridiculous arms. Jasmine's son joining the Titans junior team is something neither saw coming. This summer was supposed to change their lives, but will it be for the better or are they headed for a breakdown? This looks really good and the words are really big, so I feel like I'll read it like pretty fast, and it's about 400 pages. So yeah, excited about that. I'm going to get these books behind me in order. You can see they're an absolute mess. They're so unorganized. And then I have like a pile, you can see it kind of right there, pile of laundry I need to take to the basement, get that running. I also need to unload the dishwasher, load the dishwasher. We actually had our dishwasher break. And at the same time, we had our dryer break. So we actually got our dishwasher fixed yesterday, which it's been a while. Like it's been out for a minute. So like I've been hand washing, which is fine because I grew up not having a dishwasher. But having to do those two together, like hand washing the dishes and having to freaking air dry my clothes, too much, sending me over the edge. So now I can just like air dry the clothes and like use a dishwasher, which will be great. But I'm gonna go do the laundry and just kind of do like a little bit of a reset because we've been gone on vacation and I like came home, obviously we have tons of laundry. We haven't ordered groceries yet. The dishes in the dishwasher need to be emptied and the sink has like some dishes in it, not too many, but of course like this needs to be organized. So we're gonna do like a little bit of a reset. And if you're someone who needs to like get on your stuff, turn this on while you do something. Like do your laundry, like whatever, and comment below what you're doing. And maybe you just want to rest and relax and like that's totally fine. But I feel like when I watch videos where people are doing like a reset where they're like cleaning, meal prepping, whatever, it gets me in the mode to do it myself. So hopefully this will do the same for you. Every time I go into the basement, I have to come and look at my shelves. It just makes me so happy to look at them. I think I've decided that when I do decorate down here, I'm gonna put all books on this shelf that I have finished, just because I have so many books that I haven't finished, and I feel like the books on my TBR maybe will go on a different shelf, or maybe I'll do like 2 shelves or 3 shelves full of like books that I finished, and then maybe like 1 small section will be a TBR, because I do want to like use, you know, the corners in here for reading, and like if I'm going to get a book, maybe I don't want to like go all the way upstairs. I did decide that I want to do a white door down here, just because like everything is white, and I feel like whenever I film or just like when I'm taking pictures or just down here, white will look really nice. I know I initially thought maybe I would do black, but I just feel like white is going to brighten the space, and like this is literally a basement, and so I just don't want it to like be dark. But you guys can see the corner over here, they have like extra rug. I have to take that like somewhere and obviously put the like little plug things back on, but I did put the door back on the hinges. It was off the last time I think I showed you guys, and I plan on putting in this corner a chair, and then a chair in this corner, and then obviously we have all this space over here. So eventually I will get to, you know, decorating this space and thinking like a pull-out couch, but they haven't really done much else this week. But I had to show you guys, because anytime I come down to the basement, I have to look at these beautiful shelves. I'm gonna do a whole video whenever I decorate it, but I don't want to bring anything down because I don't want like dust on anything. Like you can see on the floor, like our carpet is already like getting stuff on it, which is kind of like the worst thing ever. It's like probably gonna drive me crazy. But I mean, they decide how they want to like put things in. I almost wish they'd put the carpet in like after everything was completely done. But you know, it is what it is. But I do want to wait to put stuff on my shelves till it's like completely done, because I don't want like drywall all over my book. I want to rapid fire show you guys my fall TBR, because I feel like the books in this stack are going to be books that some of you guys are going to want to read. I haven't given you guys my fall TBR yet, but like my full fall TBR is coming soon. But these are just a few that are like really sticking out to me. The first one, Block Shot, of course. I need to get back into Kennedy Ryan's writing. I love her writing. Anyone who doesn't like her writing, I will literally... I can't fight. I will bring out these fisticuffs, okay? Who wants it? You know, like her books are just, there's something different. There's something different about her writing. It's beautiful, it's incredible, it's lyrical, but not too much. I really want to get back into this series. And I also kind of want to read the Grip series, but I think because I've already started the first book in the series, I just want to finish the last 2 books and then get into the Grip series, because the Grip series is not about a different character. It's like about the same 2 characters for the full series, whereas every book in this is a different character. So I almost feel like if I start the Grip series, I'm gonna be like wanting to finish that, because I'm gonna wanna know what happens with the characters, especially because the first book, it kind of leaves you on a cliffhanger. So I feel like if I get back into it, I'm just going to want to finish it. I also want to read Holly Jackson's newest book, which is Not Quite Dead Yet. I bought this book and I got it in London, and it was from like a thriller, like mystery type of bookstore. Like that's pretty much all they had there. So excited about it, because I was like, oh, it's not like a young adult book, and I'm just like not the biggest fan of young adult books. They have to like really wow me. So I was super excited. And then I went to my bookstore and I saw that they had this book in the young adult section. So now I don't really know what it is, but I thought this was her first adult book. But I'm excited to read that. I also want to read Heartbeats. This book I recently got whenever Brady, I literally can't get over this man. He's like, I always tell people I don't have a book boyfriend, and it's literally because my husband is better than any book boyfriend that you could ever dream up. I shared in the last video, but like he We were in Nashville and he like paid for a mobile bookstore that's like romance only to be outside my door like in the morning, and it was the sweetest birthday surprise. So yeah, I got this book in that bookstore. I also ended up getting 32 other books because he was like, there's no limit, just like get whatever you want. Literally a dream. And didn't realize that this is a book by a smaller author, and there's only a few reviews on this book, and it says she lost her heart the day her father died. He just might be the one to help her find it again. Seems like it's gonna be really deep. This is one of my most anticipated reads for fall because it just is giving the fall vibes. Like, look how beautiful the cover of that is, right? It's about a girl who grew up deaf and her family pretty much ignores her, and they like don't really like try to communicate with her. So she's like kind of living in silence, and then she meets Rome and he completely turns her life upside down. And it just looks like it's gonna be a really good book. I think that's what it's about. So yeah, excited for that. I also want to get into more historical fiction. I've been into historical fiction in the past and I've kind of like not read it as much, mostly just because it's summer. Like, on the beach, who wants to read about like the atrocities that this like country has put all of us through? No one. So I didn't really want to pick up a historical fiction book, but now I feel like as it's getting to fall and like cozy season, more like reflection, books that are like heartfelt and deep, those are the things that I'm gravitating towards most. So this is a book, it says that it's inspired by the life of unsung heroine and real life crusader Lizzie McDuffie, who as a maid in Franklin D. Roosevelt's White House spearheaded the civil rights movement of her time. Excited to read that. I also want to read Playing with My Heartstrings. I don't really know what this is about, but I know it's by a smaller author. It says, are they willing to risk their careers on the line? Dusty Wilder is country music's latest heartthrob, and Baylor is in public relations. So I'm guessing maybe she's like his PR assistant or something. It's like forbidden. That's just my guess, but I know this is by a smaller author. So again, I've been just like really gravitating towards smaller authors because one, no one really is like giving you their opinion on the book because like no one's read it. Like literally. I have this book, it's called Hooked on You by Kyra something or other, and like I looked it up in like Goodreads and I couldn't find it. I was like, why can I not find this? And then I had to like fully type in the author's name. I don't remember what the author's name is offhand, but I'm sure I'm gonna read it like very soon. And the book had 5 reviews. I'm like, love that for me. I'm going to read this book very soon. I'll show it to you guys after this. I also want to read August Lane. Talked about this one already a little bit. This is a black country music star who lied about his only hit, risks his comeback to reunite with the woman he stole it from, a first love. The lyrics won't let him forget. That looks amazing and sounds like a movie. Also want to read Don't Cry For Me. I want to get into more of Daniel Black's writing. This is a black father makes amends with his gay son through letters written on his deathbed in this wise and penetrating novel. Heard so many people have loved this book, so I feel like I will too. This book right here is about a woman who is married and she has a secret that she's keeping, and her husband also has a secret he's keeping. He's like an addict. And then I think the daughter in this book, you're like following from her POV and you're seeing her go through like the motions of living in this like family dynamic. So it's told from 3 different points of view. Excited to read that. I also want to read Ordinary Love. I picked this up in an independent bookstore when I went to Willamette, and it was from a smaller bookshop called, I don't remember what it's called, but Pink Couch, the Pink Couch. And really loved going in there because they had a great selection of books I hadn't heard of before. This is a page-turning, irresistible novel of class, ambition, and bisexuality. Ordinary Love is the breathtaking story of a woman risking everything for a second chance at first love. Ordinary Love is the beautiful, wrenching, completely seductive story of 2 people trying to forge a path through hope, bound by love they discovered when they were too young to understand its power. I'm pretty sure it's about a girl, if I remember correctly, a girl falls in love with her high school heartbreak, or she falls in love with a girl in high school, and I think she breaks her heart, and then they, I think, run into each other at a cocktail party, I think. I remember reading it in the store and it sounded good. Also want to read Sweet Heat. This is the second book to Honey and Spice. Honey and Spice came out, I think in 2020. It says, not every relationship makes it out of university, but Kiki and Malachi were supposed to be forever. Everything was perfect until it all went up in flames. And I cannot wait to read this story. I love that this author has really taken their time to write this book, because sometimes I feel like authors don't take their time. They need to take a little bit more time. And I think it's been like 4 or 5 years, something, since Honey and Spice came out. And I also want to read Francine's Spectacular Crash and Burn. This isn't necessarily like a story that's giving fall, but I do want to read more contemporary fiction, especially by Black authors. What time is it now? Yeah, I can see it moving.
8.
Wow, so serious. 8:05, sun is down.
That's the fast.
Yeah, it's like... Did we go to the bookstore yesterday? Yes. Are those the books that I'm showing you today? No. I'm showing you 2 totally different packages. I'm gonna open these and then open the books that I got from Barnes & Noble tomorrow, just because I'm like itching to open these more. These have been in the packaging and I've been waiting to open them with you guys, so I don't even really remember what I ended up ordering. Oh, this book, I saw this on, I think, Instagram, and this is book 1 in the series. It's called The Truth Never Spoken. It says, I left Baker Oaks 10 years ago and swore I'd never return, so why on earth am I sitting in the front seat of Jake Clark's truck? The guy whose heart I broke all those years ago, the man I considered the love of my life. I love a second chance romance, and again, I feel like I talk about this all the time. I'm a freaking broken record, but I love finding books that aren't like super hyped up yet, and I'm pretty sure that this book is not like a super hyped up book. And then I also have this book right here, and this one, I don't know exactly what this one is either. It says from HarperCollins, so let's see what they sent me. Ooh, oh my gosh, they sent me a book by Tessa Bailey. I don't know if this is her newest book or what. Guys, this book doesn't even go on sale until September 9th. It's called Picture Perfect. How cute. September 9th, 2025 is when it goes on sale. Thank you, HarperCollins. It's so sweet that they sent this to me. And I'm gonna see what else it's about. It says, well, I guess I could just like read the back of this, but I loved reading It Happened One Summer. I read that like a few years ago. Look at the cover of this, guys. Is that not so cute? I feel like this is a perfect book to read right now. It says, best-selling author Tessa Bailey is back with an all-new enemies to lovers, fake dating, sports romance about a Playboy hockey rookie and the disciplined softball pitcher completely immune to his charms. Now, I remember reading, what was it called? It Happened One Summer, and what's the second book? Oh my gosh, Hooked Line and Sinker. That's what it is. Hook, Line, and Sinker. I remember reading those and thinking, oh my god, these are the spiciest books I've ever read, other than like 50 Shades of Grey. Because that was when I like first got into spicy romance books. And now I'm like, oh, that's mild. Like, that's nothing. That's so mild. And that's, I guess it says something about me, but I'm really excited to read this. This will be like a super easy, fun read. And I think, is this in a series or not in a series? I don't know. It's always hard to like figure out, but they do kind of have a diagram in the back to show you like the books that they've written. And yeah, so Hook, Line, and Sinker and It Happened One Summer are together. These are the different books that are in the little diagram, if you guys want to look at that and see the different books that they have. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. This has not come out yet. So that makes me feel like I need to read this before it comes out. Like I need to read this before September 9th. So maybe I'll add this in to my TBR this month. Honestly, I feel like this is gonna be the only time I'm gonna wanna read it right now, you know, because it's like a summary type book. I don't know, is it a summary book? I actually am going to a baseball game this weekend, so this could be a good time to read this book. It could be a good time. I might have to bring this with me just so I can read this. I don't know. But yeah, really excited for this. Didn't know that this was even coming. So it's very sweet of HarperCollins to send this over. I finished this book and it literally felt like I was reading like a old school rom-com with like Meg Ryan and that kind of vibe. I also feel like this book was like mismarketed. And like, maybe that's not the word mismarketed, but like, I feel like so many people could sell books better if they like marketed them better. So like if I were to market this book, I would definitely market it into contemporary fiction. I would not market it in romance because it talks so much about how like she can't find a job and like her friendship dynamic, and this whole book they're not even together or anything. Like they're literally just friends. Like, and I'm not saying like ooh, like friends to lovers, like we know they're gonna get together. Like no, like the whole book you're like, what is going on with them? And it's like one of those books that felt very realistic. It reminded me of when I read, what's it called? One Day in December by Josie Silver. I think that's the author. It's like a Christmas book. It reminded me a lot of that, like very realistic. It's also told over like a long period of time. They like meet and then, you know, reconnect, and then they like don't talk to each other for a while. Like it felt very realistic. I would market this book not with these cartoons on the cover. I would market this book with like leaves all over and kind of make it look like a movie like cover, but without people on it. I don't know how to explain that, but or maybe if it did have people, it would be like different. Like I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I would do people. I don't think I would do people. I think I would do like maybe not even leaves, maybe just like colors that are similar to leaves that give like the vibe of like fall. This book, I think, would be much higher rated if people were like the right people were reading this. I feel like the thought daughters need to be reading this book, not like the romance girls. Because again, I loved it, but like you don't really get romance. You're getting them being actual enemies and like arguing throughout most of the book. It's not even miscommunication. It's just like they don't really like each other, and then they like have a friendship and it ends up, you know, them being actual friends. Like they're not like, you know how sometimes like you'll get a book and it's like, okay, you know that it like eventually something's gonna happen. It's like, no, these people are truly just friends. So I did enjoy this book. I will say it felt very long. Let's see, how long was this book? How many pages? Because I don't even remember, like, whenever I finished it, how many pages. So it's like a little over 400 pages. It felt longer than that. It felt like I was reading like 480 pages. And maybe just because, like, it was a lot of back and forth. I don't know. It just wasn't a short book. It wasn't a book that you, like, fly through, even though I did finish it pretty fast. But I will say I tandem read this one, which I do sometimes if I'm like traveling a lot or if I have like a lot of housework to do. So like we got back from London and our washer, I think I told you guys, our dryer was broken and our dishwasher was broken. So hand washing dishes And then the dishwasher got fixed yesterday, I think it was, but the dryer's still out. So like we're washing our clothes, but then we're hang drying all of our clothes, like all around the house, you know, the whole thing. And then of course, like when you get home, you have so much laundry. So I've been trying to like catch up to that, but I'm going on a trip this weekend and I'm going to Hilton Head. So I don't really know, you know, if I'm going to be able to finish my laundry before I go. But I also was trying to like meal prep. You guys saw how I like organized the shelves again because like they were super unorganized. And then, you know, I was trying to like catch up on the dishes because the dishes that were in the dishwasher were like just sitting there. So I ended up like I had to wash that on 2 cycles. But there were just some things I needed to like hand wash because they'd been like sitting since we were gone. Because we thought the dishwasher was gonna like work and it did not. So anyway, all the things, doesn't really matter. But whenever I am really into a book and just don't have time to like physically sit down and I have to like do activities, that's when I will listen. And I usually listen on like Spotify because they have the option where you don't have to download the whole book. You get 10 hours to use if you're a premium member. So like you can just use like 1 hour here, 20 minutes there, 30 minutes there. And it's like nice because you don't have to get like the whole book. So yeah, anyway, enjoy this one. I think I'm gonna rate this one 3 stars. I feel like this could have easily been a 4-star read if it wasn't so like the monologues. Like I just feel like there wasn't a ton of dialogue in this. There were times that I was like, okay, can we move this along? But I could easily see myself rating it higher. There were just like a few things that I would have wanted differently. And I think would have wanted to be different. And I think that if I had went into this story with the expectation, like I kind of knew it would give like contemporary fiction vibes, but like it really did. Like it, to me, like And Then You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty is a contemporary fiction novel. It's not like in the romance section, but like the story is about romance, but like it's about basically everything else outside of the romance. This is how it felt to me. Like you are seeing her like navigate loneliness and she's like afraid to be alone, like all these different things. So anyway, enjoy this. I also, of course, finished this book right here. I think this book I'm gonna land at 3 stars because it was cute. What's crazy though is like I almost feel like this book I should rate 3.5 because I feel like the story's gonna stick with me more. But there were times when I was reading this where I was like, can we get a move on like with the story? So I don't know. But this one was just like cutesy. It was like fun, cutesy. Wasn't really expecting too much from it. So sorry guys, I'm so tired. I was editing so late today. And I always wake up at 5 in the morning. Since we've gotten back and we're like still adjusting to like the time and stuff, I've been waking up at 6 instead. But I've been like trying to push my alarm clock back because I was doing 6:30 first and I pushed it back 30 minutes to do 6. So tomorrow I'm going to push it back 30 more minutes and do 5:30 to get me back up to 5 a.m. again. I don't think that anyone, if you go out of town and you're just like sleeping into whenever, I don't think anyone should come back and like go straight into like waking up at the same time and like doing everything the same. I have been like working out, but my workouts are trash. They're absolutely trash. So like we've like changed what we have, like what we eat, and we started changing what we eat last October. If you're new here, we basically don't have bread, we don't have sugar, we don't really have sauces because most sauces have sugar. We just have fruit, vegetables, and like anything that's from an animal. So like milk, obviously like meat and stuff. And we did that. It's kind of started because like as an adult, you never really go through the foods that like you're allergic to. You just kind of like have allergies as a kid and you just assume it's like what you have as an adult. And there were so many things I would eat where I'm like, my stomach hurts, like, and even still now, like if I eat certain breads, like my stomach will hurt. And I'm allergic, very allergic to buckwheat. But I just never knew, like, am I gluten intolerant? Like, you know, whatever, am I dairy intolerant? So we like took basically everything out when we first started. We just did meat, and then we did that for 2 weeks. And then the third week we added in vegetables, and the fourth week we added in fruit. And so we really got to see how our body responded to like every single thing that we put into our body. So it made us realize like, oh, maybe I should have this, like caffeine. I just don't do very well with caffeine. Certain breads I don't do well with. There's just like things here and there. It was really nice to like figure that out. But this trip, like Amsterdam, London, and now, you know, coming back from Nashville, I'm realizing like my workouts depend so much on me like eating well, because my workouts have been so bad. Like I have such low energy. Like if you're someone who is like, oh, I'm working out and like I just can't get it together, check in on what you're eating, because I usually try to get 170 grams of protein a day, and obviously while we were on the trip we weren't. And coming back, like I haven't meal prepped anything, so we've just kind of been like getting back in the swing of things, but like very slowly. Like I made chili tonight, but like for lunch I did not have anything that had like barely any protein. And yeah, so you know, I've come back and I'm like, I have no energy, I'm so tired, I feel so weak in the gym, I'm so slow. My joints are freaking cracking, like cracking so bad. And it's crazy because this has only been 3 weeks, like 3 weeks out of an entire, like since October of last year. Like every other weekend is when we'll like kind of eat whatever. But we don't usually do it like the whole weekend. It's not like every meal. Like maybe it'll be ice cream on Friday, and then Saturday maybe we're like, oh, we're gonna, you know, have something for breakfast that's like cinnamon rolls, and then dinner maybe we'll have like popcorn or just like random stuff, you know. But like we're not just like all day, you know, like overeating stuff. But I also normally drink at least half a gallon of water a day, and I have not been doing any of that. And the girls are right. Have you ever seen those TikToks where it's like, all right, like I'm kind of realizing it now that like, you know, the girlies were right. If you wake up at 5 a.m., if you work out, if you eat right, like your life will be better. I'm here to tell you that is accurate, because for someone who has been like very consistent up until the last 3 weeks, because we were like traveling, I'm itching to get back to like eating well, drinking my water, you know, having energy in the gym. Because of those things, I just am very excited. Like literally my knees right now are hurting. It's like, why are my knees hurting? I'm just laying down. But I think it's because I haven't had enough water. I was out there and I was like, I kind of want to get some ice cream. And it's like, you know why I'm wanting to get ice cream? Because I haven't had enough protein today. I probably had like maybe a max of like 40 grams of protein. And that's like max. But normally I have 170 grams. So like, it's wild too, because I won't even feel hungry. Like I feel full, but I feel like when you eat breads and things, like your stomach expands, or like rice, your stomach expands, but like you're not actually getting the sustenance you need. So then you end up like wanting to snack and stuff, because your body's like, why am I hungry? Like I'm still hungry, but like you are hungry, even though you're feeling full. But you feel full just because these foods are just freaking expanding your stomach. So anyway, it's made me very conscious and made me very aware that like everything that we do to keep our bodies in the best shape as possible, or best shape possible, is like beneficial. And I do that because I want to be 80 and I want to be able to like carry my groceries myself from my car inside, you know, put them up on the cabinet or in the cabinets on the shelf. I want to be able to move furniture. Like I want to be able to do all things when I'm really old. So that's the goal. But I am going to start Out of Body next. This book right here is fairly short, I think. Yeah, it's only 260 pages, I think. So I feel like I'll finish it really fast. I haven't read anything from Nia Davenport. I feel like, did this author write romances too? I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't want to spoil anything, because like sometimes, you know, you look in the back of the book and like spoil stuff. I don't know. I do love seeing like the pictures of authors in books, because I feel like it connects me to the author more. It's like, oh, you're a real person. Sometimes like I will look up an author on like Instagram or something, and I'll be like, dang, this person really wrote a book and they're really getting people who are reviewing it and being like 2 stars, you know, like 1 star. And they're literally they're just a girl. Like, they're just a girl. A lot of the people I'll look at, like, you know, if they like write the book or whatever, and I'll be like, you're young. Not that like if you're older, it's like bad, but I almost feel like if you're older writing a book and you've like had a few under your belt, like I kind of expect more. Like, I expect you to like know what you're doing. Kind of like if an author has like 10 books, you know, out of what they've written, and you read like one of their older works, it's like, oh, okay, I can feel that this book is older. I can kind of tell. Whereas with like authors who are new and authors who are young, it's like, you're just a girl. You literally just like wrote a book in your bedroom and then decided to publish it. Like, how am I supposed to rate that? Like, anything lower than 3 stars, you know, like 3 stars to me is like, that's a good rating. Like, but even more so, it's like, I should give 4 stars or 5. Like, I don't know. I just like to look at the pictures of the back because it like keeps people being like real to me. But I'm getting ready to go to bed. We will talk tomorrow. We do have the washer people coming tomorrow, thank the Lord, or dryer people coming tomorrow. So I really hope that they fix all of that stuff in our dryer. I have a book haul and a little wrap up. We're gonna start with the wrap up first before I get into the books that I picked up at Barnes. So first off, we're gonna start with the book that I finished recently, Out of Body. This book was so good. It was very eerie. I feel like if you're looking for a book that's giving Get Out vibes, definitely read this one. This one is more like, I don't know, it's less like thrilling in the sense of like someone about to pop out of a corner, and more like eerie and kind of creepy, but not like, you know how I don't really like reading anything that's like too much, you know, it doesn't feel too much. This was a really quick read, and this one was less than 300 pages, so I feel like you'll get through it really fast. It is a young adult book, but it is definitely something that's going to keep your attention. It's a really good read. I definitely would recommend this to anyone. And I already kind of talked about You Again. I don't know where I'm gonna end up landing with this rating. Honestly, all these ratings are kind of up in the air for me. I feel like usually I'm pretty confident of like what I want to rate something, but more often than not, I have been wanting to rate a book higher because I'm just like, this author, like, you know, they did the dang thing. They wrote this book, but it's like, do I really want to rate it that, you know? So I've been trying to think on my ratings longer and think about the actual book itself and less about like who the book is coming from. And then I read Only for the Summer, which was a summer book, but obviously I read 2 very fall books, and this was just like a cozy, cutesy read. I do think that this book would be great for right now or even next month because it still gives like that cozy vibe that like I feel like we gravitate towards in the fall. Really love this one. I think out of all of these, this might be my favorite. I think out of all of them. And then I also have a book haul to show you guys. This is the book that I picked up at Barnes & Noble. I've been really wanting to get into thrillers. So one of the books that I got is a thriller, and by get into I mean like get back into, because I feel like I haven't read very many thrillers lately. I've just been reading mostly romance, and I picked up Everyone is Lying to You. This is actually a book about an influencer, which I'm not usually someone who likes to read books about influencers because like literally that's my job. So like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like the characters are portrayed very like vain and very just like not how an influencer is. Like literally, an influencer is literally someone who just like took a camera and decided to follow their dreams. You know, they decided to do something against the grain. And yes, are there like vapid influencers? For sure, like definitely. But also, like when you look at doctors, like some doctors are not the best. Like, but you're not gonna generalize and say every single doctor is terrible because you had one bad experience with one doctor, right? And I feel like influencers are always put into this category of like, they're vapid, they're this. And I think influencers now are so much different than influencers in the past because there's just so many different avenues and ways to go about influencing. Like you could be a knitting influencer, you could be a cooking influencer, whereas in the past I feel like it was kind of just like clothes and fashion, which again, not every clothes or fashion influencer is vapid either, but I feel like sometimes it's portrayed as that in books. So I'll be interested to see how that's portrayed here. But I'm pretty sure that this book has like, yeah, it's a book about a girl who, it says an explosive trad wife murder mystery we've all been waiting for. So yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this. It's very different and I feel like I've been gravitating towards books that are very different. I also picked up Once Upon a Time in Dollywood. This is Reese's Book Club's recent book pick, and I feel like Reese's Book Club always picks the best books. And this is also in the contemporary fiction section, which made it easy for me to pick up because I've been trying to find more books in that section by Black authors. This says a playwright must grapple with her difficult year and writer's block while falling for the single dad living next door in this emotional debut novel from Ashley Jordan. Looked up the reviews are incredible. The cover is beautiful. It's everything that I'm looking for in like book to read, especially in the fall and like, you know, coming seasons. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and all the books that I grabbed. I don't really have any new updates for the book room because I haven't done anything yet. We did get our dryer fixed today, so it's like a really great feeling, but I am getting ready to go to a baseball game and then head out of town. I'm going to Hilton Head for the first time and I'm gonna be there for like half a week with some friends from the gym, which is wild because I've been going to the same gym for about 5 years, and the fact that I'm going on a trip, like a beach trip with them, is just so special because I will forever preach get into community in your town because I feel like that's one, the best way to make friends, two, the best way to have support, but also three, to feel a little less alone. Like when you are constantly seeing people that you care about like on a regular basis, whether it's a book club that you go to once a month, whether it's Pilates class you go to once a week, whether it's a gym, you know, that you go to 4 times a week, which is what I do, and I go at the same time, and every single time that we get done with class, we talk for a little bit afterward. You are going to make friends, you're gonna connect with people, you're gonna feel less alone. And so I have been going to the same gym for 5 years, and literally, those are some of the people that, like, I went to the gym and they had like a bunch of balloons and stuff for me, like for my birthday, and they, like after my dad passed, they like just made so much food, and so much food that it was enough to feed me, myself, my family, and all of our relatives. And my mom has 13 siblings and my dad has 6 siblings, both from like their own prospective parents. So like my dad has, there's 7 of them total, both from his mom and dad, same parents, and then my mom has, there were 14 of them in total, and both of them from, again, same parents, grew up in the same household, just a very big, boisterous family. All of them were able to be fed. And, you know, just little things like that. I feel like it's so important to have community, but also like for me to be able to be there for them. I have seen friends go through births of children and bring them back to the gym and seeing them starting to work out again and go through different phases of life. And it's made me really confident for when I go to those phases of life. I'd say I'm probably the youngest of the group, but the girl who's older than me, she's 35. So she's only like 2 years older than me. And then there's a girl who, her birthday is actually this weekend, which is why we're going to Hilton Head to celebrate it. She's turning 40. So she's like kind of nervous to go into her 40s. And then there's a girl there who's like 45. And so she's like, you know, it's totally fine. You're gonna love your 40s. It's just really nice to see people in different levels of life and to be able to celebrate them, but also to just genuinely make friends with different types of people. Like I hang out with them in the gym space, but occasionally we'll hang out outside the gym. But it's just really nice. So I'm really excited to go on this trip. It's gonna be a fun one. I am gonna bring some books with me, so I am asking over on Instagram what books everyone thinks that I should bring. So make sure you're following me over there if you guys wanna help me pick out what books I should bring. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.